You slobber all over me. So we have Raina here. She was due her puppies yesterday according to my calendar, and we're still waiting for them to come. We thought maybe we'd do like a little video just to kind of show you guys and talk about what happens the run up to giving birth for the dog. Dogs are pregnant for 63 days, which is 9 weeks, and usually as we approach closer to the 9 weeks, you start to see nesting behavior. Not always, depend on the dog, depend on the pregnancy, sometimes can differ and with how the dog behaves. Sometimes you see some light digging about a week before. Some females don't dig until they're right into whelping. But others will start to dig a little bit a few days before. Raina has already been digging a little bit here and there, but nothing too much as far as that kind of nesting behavior. So sometimes you see the dog going off for food. That can be a sign. They can do that a couple of weeks before, maybe a week before. Some dogs don't go off their food at all. Raina's still eating great. She's eating everything, wants everything she can possibly get. So sometimes the dog will look for a dark place to go. They'll, if you have anywhere outside, like any buildings or something, or any dark spots, they might want to try and go in there or underneath something. We have a trailer that's sitting outside, and Raina was going under there today. We've had females that go in our woodshed where we keep the rabbits. They'll just go in there, and there's some sand on the ground, so they'll dig that. They'll be digging in there. We have a spot underneath our deck where Aria, she used to go under there and dig. She liked to go under there, probably about a week before she had her babies. She was going underneath the deck and just disappearing under there, and you would hear her dig from time to time. But just to find a dark spot, they want to go somewhere that's dark and it's safe, that there's no predators and nothing that's going to come and harm their babies. So it's just instinct for them to go and find a dark spot somewhere. So the whelping area that we have set up in our house is just a wooden box. We line it with newspaper and we put some blankets in there, and I try to encourage the girls to go into the box. They go in their box and they'll dig in there. As they get closer, they'll be digging a lot more frequently. Some of them will choose places where maybe you don't want them to go dig, like on top of beds, or they'll try to get in closets, or up on couches. They'll start digging your couch, digging your furniture. Obviously it's something that you don't want them to do, and it's your furniture, so we always try to encourage back into your bed, so that she'll go in there and she knows that that's her safe spot. We have it behind the couch, and it's really dark there in the corner, so it's just perfect for the girls to go in there and have their babies. So as far as physical appearance goes, as they get closer to giving birth, their shape does change a little bit. Their bellies get lower down, and they kind of, I guess with women they call it dropped. So with dogs they do kind of drop as well. It just moves farther down their body, so it's not as round of a belly underneath. It kind of comes further down toward their rear end, and it goes really hard. And the closer they get, the harder it gets, and usually that's a good telltale sign that you're gonna have puppies soon. Sometimes you can squeeze their nipples and see if they have colostrum, start to produce milk. Most females won't have flowing milk before they have their puppies. Now that's not to say that they have and that some don't do that, but most of them will just start to produce a little bit of colostrum. So you can squeeze a nipple and see if there's a little bit of colostrum. That's usually a good sign that you're getting closer. I find that tends to happen within 5 days-ish. I don't think I've really had a female that I've checked earlier than 7 days, but even that's still a little bit soon. I'll usually check maybe around about 5 days before, just to see if we're getting close. But that's not a definite sign either that they're getting close to giving birth. That's just the days running up to it. So as the dog approaches phase 1 of labor, which is 24 hours before they actually do physically give birth to a puppy and have contractions, she will do different behaviors. The most common ones that you'll see, now again this differs from dog to dog and pregnancy to pregnancy. I have girls who from one pregnancy to the next can differ in their signs of whelping, but they will typically be shaking. That's one thing you see a lot. Panting, you see a lot, like what Raina's doing just now. This just now though, in the middle of summer and 30-degree weather, can be really confusing because dogs pant. It's just what they do when it's hot. But that is a good sign as well. If you combine those signs of panting, just feeling like they're a little bit distressed or a little bit distracted, as well as the shivering. Now, we've got some dogs who would shiver every pregnancy. We had one female, our first female, Mindy, she did that. She would shiver every single pregnancy. That was a clear-cut sign for Mindy. She's shivering, she's whelping. But not all the females do that. They're very different. Some of them don't do it at all. Some of them do a little bit. And some of them do it from one pregnancy and maybe a different pregnancy because something completely different. So they'll pant and they'll shiver, and they'll be digging a lot more frequently. You'll notice that nesting behavior becomes more obsessive. Don't let them out to go outside by themselves, just in case they do wander off and maybe have them unexpectedly. So when they're doing all of these signs combined, you know you're getting closer. Definitely digging. When they go in their beds and they're digging. I have girls that sometimes not just dig it with their paws, but they actually pick up the blanket and bite it, and then they'll pull it and they rip it apart. And that's just them getting comfortable. They're just trying to make a comfortable, safe spot for their babies. Sometimes the female might cry as well when they're starting to get closer. They feel the pressure, they feel some contractions. They might start to cry a little bit too, or whimper as they get closer. But usually that's right close when they're actually starting to give birth. So I hope that you enjoyed this video and this gave you some information. We're going to be doing a video of Raina. Hopefully we capture her giving birth and you can see the puppies. That's going to be coming up next, so stay tuned for that. Don't forget to like and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you to everyone who has been liking and following our journey and subscribing to our channel, and we really, really appreciate it. And we will see you in the next one. Oh, good girl, baby. Good girl. Good girl. Raina, you distracted me.